Hello everyone, welcome to the solution of LeetCode problem 1219 named path with maximum gold. In this problem, in a gold mine grid, which is size of m by n, each cell in this mine has an integer representing the amount of gold in the cell. And or if the value is 0, that means the cell is empty. Now, we have to return the maximum amount of gold you can collect under the condition. Every time you are located in a cell, you will collect all the gold in that cell. From your position, you can walk one step up, right, left, or down, but you cannot visit the same cell more than once. And you will never visit a cell which has 0 gold. Now, you can start and stop collecting gold from any position in the grid that has some of the golds. This is the problem statement here. In this example, it is 3 by 3 grid, which is 060, 587, 090. So if we start collecting the gold from this cell line and go up into this 8, then go right into this 7, the total amount of gold will be 24. So we have to return 24. I hope you understood the problem statement. Now let's move on to the algorithm. Now here, to understand the algorithm, we have taken the same example. First of all, we have to understand that it is a graph problem because suppose we are currently presented at one cell. From this cell, we can go into its 4 of its direction, right? And again, from this cell, we can go into its 4 of its direction and so on. So this is a graph problem. Now, which graph algorithm should we use? First of all, we have to understand that if we want to start collecting the gold, we can start from any cell. So if we use the DFS, there can be multiple sources. So this problem can be solved using the multi-source DFS. So here, now let's see how we basically solve this problem. Suppose currently we are at this cell 6. Now from this cell 6, we can go down. We cannot go right, left, or up. So here, if we go down from this 8, we can go right, left, or down, and so on. So here, the algorithm is pretty simple. We have to scan each of the element into the grid, and if the current element is not 0, that means the current element is not empty, we can start the DFS from here. And we will collect as many gold as possible. Suppose currently we're at this position 8, it is not 0. Sorry, it is 9. Now we can go up, then we can go left. So here in this path, the total amount of gold will be 9 plus 8 plus 7. So here, I hope you understood the algorithm. Basically, we have to start the DFS from each of the non-zero cell, and we have to collect the maximum amount of gold by traversing into 4 of its direction. After that, we have to return the maximum of them. I hope you understood the algorithm. Now let's move on to the code. Here, we are given a function named getMaxGold, which has a 2-dimensional grid. Initially, the answer is 0. Now we are scanning each of the element, and if the current grid element is not equal to 0, we have to recursively call the DFS function into this cell and calculate or update the maximum accordingly. Now inside the DFS, if the current row and column becomes out of bound, or the current grid element is less than or equal to 0, negative for visited, and if the grid element is 0, we cannot traverse in this position. Now we have to return 0. So here, after completion this check, we have to assign the negative value into the grid cell and recursively call the DFS function into its 4 direction, which is up, down, left, and right. Finally, after completing the DFS call into its 4 of its direction, we have to again reset the grid value. Now we have to return the maximum of its left, right, up, and down value plus the grid of row and column. Finally, we have to return the answer, which is the maximum of all possible DFS. I hope you understood the code. Thank you everyone for watching the video. We will get back soon with another LeetCode solution.